I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. Welcome back, everybody. This week, Wyoming and Utah are making big moves to take control of federal lands in their states. REI is rolling out a nationwide propane canister exchange ahead of California's single-use propane canister ban, plus 2 new state parks and more. All of that in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by the folks at RV Life. The RV lifestyle is about community, and the RV community is at the heart of RV Life. RV Life recently celebrated the 1 millionth trip planned with RV Life Trip Wizard, their excellent trip planning tool for RVers, featuring all the trusted reviews, pictures, and tips from their RV Life campground site. RV Life also features several blog sites and over 20 additional RVing forums to serve the RV community. All this experience and community feedback come together to help create a fantastic RV trip planner and mobile navigation tool collectively called RV Life Pro. RV Life has marked a milestone of over 3 billion miles traveled using RV Life Pro, counting both the planned RV trips and ad hoc navigation within the included RV Safe mobile app. Take 25% off RV Life Pro at the link in the description for this episode. The U.S. Senate has confirmed Doug Burgum as Secretary of the Interior in a 79-18 vote, with support from all Republicans and more than half of Senate Democrats. Burgum, a former North Dakota governor and tech entrepreneur, will now oversee the Interior Department, which manages public lands, national parks, and energy resources within those lands. President Donald Trump has tasked Burgum with increasing fossil fuel production, including expanding drilling on public lands. As part of this effort, Burgum will also chair the new National Energy Council and have a seat on the National Security Council, a first for an Interior Secretary. Burgum, who leased family land to oil companies while serving as governor, has a history of supporting energy industry expansion. His nomination raised concerns among environmentalists and some Democrats who argue the Trump administration is abandoning renewable energy policies in favor of fossil fuels. Burgum has defended the move, arguing that energy development strengthens the U.S. economy and lowers consumer costs. The Interior Department oversees 500 million acres of federal land, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and offshore drilling zones. Under Biden, former Secretary Deb Haaland scaled back oil and gas leasing while promoting solar and wind projects on federal land. Still, the U.S. produced more oil than it ever has. Republicans now hope Burgum will help roll back those restrictions. Burgum has also promoted carbon capture technology as a way to neutralize emissions from fossil fuels, though critics argue the technology is unproven at scale. According to National Parks Traveler, lawmakers in Wyoming and Utah are pushing resolutions that would shift control of federal lands to their states. In Wyoming, legislators are considering a resolution that would request Congress to transfer all federal lands within the state, except Yellowstone National Park, which was a park before the state existed, back to state control. This includes Grand Teton National Park, Devil's Tower National Monument, national forests and grasslands, as well as subsurface mineral rights. The state argues that it can manage these lands more efficiently than the federal government. Meanwhile, in Utah, a resolution has been introduced calling for the state to co-manage its 5 national parks, Arches, Bryce, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, and Zion, alongside the U.S. Department of the Interior. Lawmakers say the goal is to help tackle the park's $400 million maintenance backlog, but conservation groups like the National Parks Conservation Association are pushing back, saying taking care of our national parks and ensuring they are funded and fully staffed falls squarely on the shoulders of Congress, said Corey McNulty, NPCA's campaign director for the Southwest region. The group argues that rather than seeking control, Utah should focus on pressuring Congress to fund the National Park Service properly. Funding remains a major question, though, as Utah faces a budget deficit already, so doesn't particularly have the extra money to put into the parks. And Wyoming's long-term finances are heavily reliant on fossil fuel extraction. This all comes after the U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear Utah's lawsuit challenging federal ownership of public lands. Other states like Wyoming signed on to that lawsuit. With the Trump administration in power, states see an opening to reshape public land policies in their favor. According to the Victorville Daily Press, 3 campgrounds in California's San Bernardino National Forest will remain closed for the 2025 season due to staffing shortages and maintenance costs. The U.S. Forest Service announced that Black Mountain Group Campground, Dark Canyon Campground, and Ribbonwood Equestrian Campground will not reopen this year. Officials cited low visitor numbers relative to operational expenses as a key factor. Dark Canyon Campground also requires a full-time campground host under the Mountain Yellow-Legged Frog Recovery Agreement between the Forest Service and U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Efforts to find a suitable host in the past years have been unsuccessful. Other campgrounds in the area, including Marion Mountain, Fern Basin, and Boulder Basin, will remain open, with reservations now available at recreation.gov. Additionally, through March 15th, visitors to the San Bernardino National Forest face temporary fire restrictions, including bans on campfires outside designated areas, smoking in undesignated locations, and certain off-road vehicle use. According to KSL TV, Utah Raptor State Park in Grand County, Utah is set to finally have its grand opening later this year after years of development. Utah lawmakers created the park in 2021, but a lack of infrastructure led to minimal visitation. Just 26,000 visitors in the 2024 fiscal year, along with a string of one-star Google reviews criticizing its lack of amenities. However, the park has now added 67 modern campsites, drilled wells for water, and brought in electricity from nearby Moab. Scott Strong, director of the Utah Division of State Parks, told lawmakers he's excited for the improvements, highlighting the park's blend of outdoor recreation and prehistoric history. Quote, "You can almost pick up a rock, put your tongue on it, and if it sticks, you'll know you've got a dinosaur bone," he joked. Other state parks in Utah are also seeing upgrades. Red Fleet State Park in Vernal is expanding its campground and adding tiny houses. Escalante Petrified Forest State Park has a new campground, and Bear Lake State Park has added new day-use areas and camping facilities. Meanwhile, at Antelope Island State Park, officials are seeking $500,000 from state funds to help complete a new theater at the visitor center, which will serve as an educational and event space. The project is expected to open in October. According to the Texas Standard, a new Texas state park is in the works, thanks to a recent land purchase by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. The 2,000-acre property located in Burnett County along the Colorado River sits directly across from Colorado Bend State Park and will eventually become part of the state park system. The land was acquired for $35 million using funds from the Centennial Parks Conservation Fund, which was approved by Texas voters in 2023 to expand outdoor recreation opportunities. While the park doesn't have a name yet, officials say it will offer similar terrain to Colorado Bend, but with more developed camping options. Texas State Park officials plan to open the park for limited day use within the next 12 to 18 months, possibly through guided hikes and public hunting. Full development, including camping and other amenities, is expected to take 2 to 4 years. Public input will play a key role in shaping the park's final design, with officials planning to hold meetings for local feedback. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, outdoor retailer REI is expanding its propane canister exchange program nationwide ahead of a California law that will ban single-use propane cylinders in 2028. REI has been testing the refillable canister exchange at 4 Bay Area stores for the past year and a half now, and plans to roll it out to around 50 locations nationwide by late March, including in California and the Denver area. Under the program, customers can purchase a refillable propane canister for $22, then swap it out for a full one at participating stores for $10, similar to the propane tank exchanges used for backyard grills, but on a smaller scale with 1-pound canisters. California lawmakers approved the ban last fall, citing environmental concerns. Between 4.5 million and 7 million single-use 1-pound propane canisters are sold in the state annually, many of which end up in landfills due to costly and difficult recycling processes. REI is partnering exclusively with Little Camper, a national propane exchange company based in California that already operates in several national parks, Ace Hardware stores, and other retailers. The refillable cylinders made by Flame King can also be refilled at home with the right adapter. For now, REI will continue selling single-use canisters in California until the law takes effect, but the company sees the exchange program as a step toward reducing waste. $10 per 1-pound fill, though? I don't see this catching on when it's more expensive than the disposable ones. But if you do want to refill them yourself, get these Flame King canisters. Don't refill the disposable ones. They do leak after you've refilled them several times. Armis RV has been granted a U.S. patent for its Armis RV Guardian blowout protection system, a product designed to reduce damage caused by tire blowouts on RVs. The company claims the bolt-on steel system can prevent costly repairs that often result from tire failures, which can sideline RVers for weeks. Armis says its system does not void manufacturer warranties and is available through a growing network of dealers, though I only see 2 dealers listed on their website at this point. Though I think this is a really good idea here. Blowouts can cause thousands of dollars in damage. The search for Danielle Lopez, a 37-year-old New Jersey woman who disappeared during a camping trip in the Pine Barrens last April, has intensified, with a $5,000 reward now being offered for information leading to her whereabouts. The Community United Effort Center for Missing Persons, a nonprofit organization based in North Carolina, announced the reward to encourage anyone with information to come forward. Lopez was last seen on April 13th, 2024 at a Wawa convenience store in Southampton, Burlington County. Surveillance footage captured her purchasing a coffee that morning. Later that day, her blue Hyundai Accent was found stuck in a large puddle on Lost Lane in Woodland Township, approximately 12 miles from her reported campsite in Brendan T. Burns State Forest. A couple driving in the area saw Lopez walking alone near her disabled vehicle. Their interaction was recorded on a dashboard-mounted GoPro camera, which has been provided to authorities but not released publicly. Lopez had informed her mother, Sue Quackenbush, that she was camping with her boyfriend. After April 12th, all communication ceased. The boyfriend was interviewed by police and is currently incarcerated on unrelated charges. Despite extensive searches by the New Jersey State Police, including an 800-acre search in December utilizing horses, drones, canine units, and drivers, Lopez remains missing. Additional searches are planned, and a prayer vigil is scheduled for April to mark 1 year since her disappearance. And according to the Washington County, Utah Sheriff's Office, a hiker was found dead on the Canyon Overlook Trail at Zion National Park on Sunday morning. Authorities received a call around 7 a.m. on February 2nd about a possible fall, and emergency responders from Hurricane Valley Fire and Rescue arrived to find the individual had not survived. Zion National Park rangers and search and rescue teams assisted with recovery efforts. The sheriff's office is actively investigating the incident, but the identity of the victim has not been released. That's it for this week's RV and camping news. If you like the stuff we do here, consider becoming a Mile Marker member. We do all kinds of extra fun stuff. We have additional podcast episodes. We have a monthly live stream, which we're doing our first one for February tonight, and more. You can find out more information in the description. If you got something out of this video, hit the like button. If you want more like it, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.